The whole premise of creativity, which is about experimentation, it's about trying things. Any of us who've gone on some kind of creative journey have fallen into ditches, things haven't worked out, ideas have been rejected. I had a woman come see me the other day and she said, I really want to be a writer. I feel like in my gut that's what I'm supposed to do, and I really want to write about children and dyslexia. And I said, well, that's great, and we talked about it. She said, but I don't want to be rejected because I don't deal well with rejection. I said, you're never going to make it as a writer because rejection is a almost daily occurrence in the process. And but that's a philosophy that a lot of people have, that it's so hard to get out there and get our feelings hurt or get embarrassed that we back off and we don't take positive risks. And I always make a distinction between positive risks, which are thought out, calculated risks, and crazy risks where, you know, we quit our job and leave our spouse and move to another part of the country and so forth in a week. Now, sometimes that works for people, but we certainly need to think about it carefully. So we do have a choice about being too rash and putting ourselves in such a high stress mode that things don't work too well. But sometimes we do need to tear up our life and start over. It's better to take a little more time than a week. And lastly, number 10, and you could study this list later and maybe circle some of the ones you have. If you can't be absolutely brilliant or the best at something early on, it's better to quit than allow yourself to learn how to do it skill by skill. We think that somehow we're supposed to master things immediately. I know for me, watercolor painting is the most humbling experience. And I look at the blank page and I think, oh, what am I going to do? And it's not going to look good, and I never really learned how to draw. And one of the women in the book who's a beautiful watercolor painter, Jean Carbonetti, she's just fantastic. She says when you paint a painting, and she paints paintings over and over, she said, the 100th painting is really good. The first 99 often aren't. So we have to be willing to stick things out and figure out what kind of skill do we need? What kind of experience do we need? If we really want something, how do we construct an environment where we can be successful? And we have to let go of the whole idea that we're going to get it right in the first place. Now, some things aren't right for us. One of my good friends is a potter, and I took a pottery course with her once, and the clay was all over me and the ceiling, and you know, I knew that with my particular eye-hand coordination, this was not my thing. Now, she has a studio and does beautiful work and so forth. But so I quit that, and that made sense. So sometimes we need to just quit and say, okay, that's not for us. But there's something about watercolor painting that keeps pulling me back, even though, as I say, it keeps putting me back into humility when I do that. But it's also joyful when I actually get something that you can put on the wall and people say it's great. So study these myths because they're really important, and we need to let go of them in order to take the necessary risks and challenges and go after what we really believe in. Shame is a creativity murderess, and so is fear. And we need to recognize that yes, we're going to be scared, but we need to work around that anyway. And I just want to share a great quote from J.J. Virgin here. There's actually a personal challenge contract in the book, too, that helps you make decisions about what do I need? Do I need a mentor? Do I need a class? Do I need an investor? So that you can make some good decisions. But J.J. Virgin, who actually is the co-star of this program, I don't know if you've seen, called Freaky Eaters. It's unbelievable. I don't know where they get these people. One of the shows was some guy who ate raw chicken all the time. It's amazing he wasn't dead. And there's a therapist on it, and then J.J., who's a celebrity nutritionist, has a lot of wisdom about eating and believes in allergy testing and so forth. So she has to try to get these people to commit to reason. So there's another woman who was a nurse who was diabetic, and she drank 64 cans of soda a day. But anyway, JJ talks a lot about being full of fear, as she says, and this is referring to what's going on in the TV piece. I have had more fear this past year than I've ever had in my life. But I think if you're not a little scared, you're not doing it right. If you want to get bigger, you've got to stretch. I'm so scared of looking at my life and thinking, what did I accomplish? Who did I impact? Who did I serve? What did I help? Did I really make a difference? To me, the most scary thing would be to turn around at the end of my life feeling like I hadn't done what I was put here to do. So fear is part of the game, and we need to build in support systems and develop courage. Actually, I love to develop products. One of the products I just developed this past year, actually with my husband up there, is sneaking in a few pictures, is the Creativity Courage card with his photographs and my affirmations that people can use as a daily dose of courage to keep you on track. Because lack of courage, from a lot of my research, is one of the things that really stops us in our tracks. Now, I also gave you the Life Success Circle Test, which I put together to help you zero in on kind of what's working in your life and where are you looking to maybe put more joy or more excitement or connect in, what's going to be meaningful for you. So I wanted you to have that so you could play with that. And I want to allow some time for questions, and I just want to leave you with kind of a final quote. In this book, it's going to take you through a process of getting stronger. It's going to take you through a process where you hear other people's stories, but there are lots and lots of exercises and challenges in this book, which if you complete them, and I encourage people to get together in groups. There have been a lot of groups with the first 12 Secrets book, and I'm hoping there'll be a lot more with this group as well. Find a buddy. You can do it by phone, you can do it in person, but gather some women together and work on some of these things and help build your courage muscles and go after the things that are worth it. So finally, this quote was unknown. I really wish I knew who had done it, but I really love it, so I put it in the book. And I quote, "When one woman honors who she is, all women collectively move closer to becoming what they are capable of being." So thank you all, and to your success as you define it.